Well, we got a good group of kids coming back that we're excited about, coming off a terrific season last year, winning the state title. And so as every year, it is our goals are to be the champion of the league, the Maple League, the NJ Preps. Obviously, you can't always get there, but that's certainly our expectation. We know we have a long way to go, but we're excited because we have so many of those kids returning. Doesn't guarantee anything. You know, as I told the boys when we started up in early March, we said, you know, we're starting from scratch. What we did last year means nothing. It's great memories, you know, great for the program, but to do it all again, we've got to make sure that we go back and do all the fundamentals, the basics, put our systems in, and not count on anything, and never assume anything just because we have some good players on the team. We are fortunate to have some good baseball players, but I think we got better people, and I think that's what makes the big difference, that I've got character kids, and therefore I think our expectations should be high. When you have a successful team, we were fortunate to have that, you're going to have a lot of guys contribute. You just can't do it unless guys up and down the lineup contribute in some way. And when we went to Florida this year, I thought that you know, we'd have everything set, and then watching things develop down there, I said, oh no, this guy might be better over here than he is there, and some kids stepped up and showed me some things that will help us in other areas that I didn't think they might. So that's a great thing about working with teenagers. They're always going to surprise you, and a lot of times they're good surprises. Well, number one, I want them to be good character people. I want them to be good young men to go on and have successful lives. Obviously, our goal is to always win. I mean, I think that's important, that you always have that goal, that you want to be as good as you possibly can be and be better than that. And that comes from commitment to hard work, consistent commitment to hard work. I always tell our guys I'd much rather have a great character kid than a unbelievable talent, because that kid's always going to help you win. And those are the kind of kids that make a difference. And if these kids can go on and be great people, that's a success.
Tucked away in northwestern New Jersey on the beautiful campus of Blair Academy, we are about to see two of the nation's best square off on Wakefield Diamond. We have the Salisbury Crimson Knights coming in to take on the Blair Buccaneers. Blair 13-3 on the year. These two met in Florida, with Blair taking that. It was somewhat of a scrimmage. They won that one 1-0. This is a non-league matchup, but Sean, I'm going to bring in my color commentator, Sean Lerman. I'm Tom Monfiletto. This is way more than just an ordinary regular season matchup.
Yeah, I can guarantee you, Tom, that neither one of these teams is going into today saying, well, this is a non-league game, so we can kind of take it easy. Maybe we don't leave it all out on the field. You know, a nice relaxing day at the ballpark. Both of these teams want to prove something today. And yeah, it's nice you can win your league games, and that proves something as well. But when you can go out, and these are two of the best teams that you're going to see at this level of baseball, and when one can come out and beat the other, well, that proves something.
There are so many players on the field today that we're going to see play at the next level. It is safe to say that we're getting somewhat of a glimpse of the future of our national pastime here. There's going to be a ton of talent displayed today. It's going to be a fantastic matchup, and everybody here is excited to see it. Salisbury took a nice little road trip. Last night they played in the Brooklyn Cyclone Stadium. So they took on the Brunswick School, and they made their way down here to Blairstown to take on a Blair Academy team that is on fire. And one of their leaders at the plate and in the field, another person that has stayed as hot as the team, is Eddie Blair, the third baseman. He is their two-hitter. He's batting an incredible .431 on the year. 13 runs batted in, 8 extra base hits, and 4 stolen bases. And Eddie can admit he is not the fastest guy in the field, but he's one of the better base runners that this Blair Academy team has. He was short a home run against Petty on Friday. We saw them play here in 5 innings of work. He had a double, a single, and a triple, and was just shy a home run. If he had another at-bat, he would have had the chance to get the cycle. But Eddie Blair is having a fantastic year, and really an incredible person to have in that two-hole for this Blair team.
Yeah, and I think if you look at his stolen bases, you can probably credit Sean Lubreski for a couple of those, and because when Lubreski's on second base and Lair's on first, you're going to see that double steal every once in a while. But Lair, you're right, Tom. He's an outstanding ball player, a hard worker, and he's an invaluable member of this team in the 2-hole.
Sean Lubreski pitched an absolute gem yesterday against the Hun School to keep Blair alive in the Maple League running, as that championship is based on record. So Lubreski went a complete game, 11 strikeouts, only giving up 3 hits, as Blair was victorious by a score of 5-1. So this is a Blair team that is getting hot at the right time. The 9-hitter, Jordan Barbarata, entered yesterday's game batting about $150, hit a crucial 2-run home run to put them over the top. And when you have guys from 1 to 9 that are getting hot at the right time, this is a very dangerous team to see.
And when your 9-hole hitter comes in and he's hitting 150 and he gets that huge clutch hit, that just does so much for the rest of the team. When you know that when your big-time hitters say, well, if the 9-hole hitter's doing it, I'm going to go out there and do it. And I'm sure these guys are going to come out today looking to maybe show some stuff on this field.
And this Salisbury team got to see in Florida, they have more than a few players that have committed to play at the next level. So it'll be a very exciting game to see here as Blair is about to take the field. The pitcher in today's game is going to be Brett Lubreski, the brother of Sean Lubreski, who is also the 5-hitter on this team, who is batting over .530 on the year. And today he has an opportunity to get it done on the mound. He's thrown about 13 innings this year. He's got 12 strikeouts, and he has thrown a complete game. But Coach Stone said he is just an absolute competitor when he gets on the mound. Him and his brother, 2 guys that love to compete, 2 incredible athletes. They both play on the basketball team as well. And this is going to be Brett's kind of entrance into manhood on the mound, I would say, as he's going to face a very dangerous Salisbury lineup.
Yeah, I mean, but he's out there and he's ready to compete. How about your pitcher hitting .530? I mean, you don't think about pitchers coming out and hitting .230, let alone coming out and getting a hit in more than half of his at-bats. Brett Lubreski is just an incredible talent.
Around the diamond, Neil Ring will start behind the plate. Brett Lubreski on the mound. Eddie Lair at third base. Liam Sabino at short. Chris Mezzanotte at second. Christian Sook, who we saw throw a gem on Friday, is playing first. Jordan Barbarata is in left. Sean Lubreski in center. Kevin Holliday in right, and Holliday will be DH by Kyle Jaksic, who came through with a huge double in yesterday's game against Hun. The starting lineup for the Salisbury School Crimson Knights, you have Mason Coppins, the senior, the center fielder, will be batting leadoff. He is headed to Northeastern next year. You have Ryan January, who will be playing right field, batting second, also a senior. And then you have shortstop Will Toffee, who is the brother of head coach John Toffee. Will is headed to Vanderbilt next year. He'll be batting third. Batting fourth, headed to the University of Richmond, is, let's see here, number 3, Kyle Adams, also a senior from White Plains, New York. Batting fifth, we have Scott Hovey, number 18, from Danvers, Massachusetts. Batting sixth, we have David Kahn, number 7, who will be DHing. We have George Hewitt, the brother of Anthony Hewitt, will be batting seventh and playing third. We have Brioso will be in left field, and Dante Latessa, the second baseman, will be batting ninth. So stepping up to the plate, Mason Coppins. And here comes Lubreski with the first pitch of the game. Second pitch of the game, so it is 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 to Coppins. It is fouled straight back. So Lubreski getting ahead of Coppins here. Sean, this is a game that everybody here obviously has been really excited for. I know it's not a league game, but I was talking to one of the Blair players before the game, and he said this could be the biggest game of the year. This one grounded in between third and short. Sabino's going to make a nice diving play, but he will hold up on the throw. Good job keeping it out of the outfield, as a quick Mason Coppins has the ability to stretch that one into a double. So he will remain on first base, and we'll call that an infield single.
And Sabino made the right call there. I mean, he stopped the ball from going into the outfield. He maybe could have thought about getting up and throwing to first, but that would have been a really, really bad decision, because he was flying down the first base line and wouldn't have had a chance at him.
Neil Ring behind the plate today for Blair, giving Kyle Jaksic a break. We talked about Neil Ring in the last game that we did, as this one is in for a ball. And Neil Rink can play pretty much just about every position on the field, Sean. So a very versatile guy to have in your lineup, as he can give Kyle Jaksic a spell. He can give everybody else a spell. He can also throw off the mound. And a good move from Brett Lubreski to chase Coppins back to first.
And Ring is a guy who can hit the ball, too. A lot of times you see those guys who are, your utility players don't spend as much time hitting the ball hard.
This one fielded by Mezzanotte, and he'll go and get the out at first base. That's a beautiful swing there by January. My goodness, I could watch that all day. Good play by Chris Mezzanotte to get the first out of the inning, but that will do the job and allow Coppins to get to second base. So Lubreski going to have to keep Coppins on close at second. We'll see if Salsbury is as aggressive on second base as Blair is, and the first pitch to Toffee is low for a ball. Lubreski takes a look at Coppins, now deals to the plate. This one low for another ball. Count goes to 2-0. Will Toffee headed to Vanderbilt University next year if he doesn't get selected early in that first-year player draft by Major League Baseball, which is a distinct possibility. And Lubreski deals. This one grounded towards the hole, and it will be through for a base hit. Around third, and scoring is Coppins. A great arm from Kevin Holliday. Gets it into Sook, the cutoff man, but not before an RBI single is recorded by Will Toffee.
And that's just a good piece of hitting. You hit a ground ball, you hit it hard. That's where you're going to end up getting hits. Those hard ground balls through the infield, such an easy way to get on base. Everyone's trying to hit home runs these days, but still nothing beats a nice hard ground ball through the infield.
So Lubreski with a runner on first will now deal to Adams. This one popped foul towards our third base camera. Eddie Lair giving chase, and it will go out of play. So Lubreski getting ahead of Adams here. Adams headed to the University of Richmond. Blair sporting some pretty nifty unis today. I don't think I've ever seen these before. The connection to this program as Lubreski tries over at first. A lot of lefty sluggers on this Salisbury team. Lubreski tries once again, and Sook with an excellent move, an excellent slap tag over at first. So
yeah, they almost got him over there.
That is something that is a pretty underrated attribute of a lot of first basemen. On an incredibly windy day here. Can't say that.
It is very windy.
Can't say I've been outside on as windy of a day as we are here today. So that will certainly play a major role in today's game.
Good day to be a left-handed power hitter with it all blown out to right field.
Yeah, and a better day to be a low ball pitcher. I think this is 1-1. We have one out, runner on first.
Which is fine as long as it's consistent. That's all you really care about as a hitter, as a pitcher. If the strike zone's tight, that's fine, but it better be the exact same strike zone all game for both teams.
Kyle Adams from White Plains, New York, takes the 1-1 and lines this one into left field. A beautiful piece of hitting. Barbarata will come up with it and get it into the cut, so they will go station to station. But a beautiful line drive through the shortstop and third base hole to get another runner on base for Salisbury.
And here comes another lefty at the plate. One after another.
Scott Hovey will step to the dish. He'll be playing first base for the Crimson Knights today. Here comes the first pitch from Lubreski, and that is in for a strike.
Looks like he started him off with a breaking ball there. It's a good way to keep the middle of the lineup off balance.
Hovey from Danvers, Massachusetts. And Lubreski paints this one on the outside corner for strike number 2. 0-2 the count now. A ground ball away from ending this inning and stopping the bleeding at 1 run. Every single one of these Salisbury hitters looks extremely comfortable at the plate as Lubreski's going to step off here.
Yeah, one thing that I've noticed with all their guys so far, not a ton of movement around the box. You don't see guys swinging the bat around, moving their legs back and forth. They're all pretty just comfortable, standing still up there, waiting for the ball to come to them.
Lubreski checks Toffee at second and brings home the 0-2. This one will be outside for a ball.
That's a nice 1-2 pitch because it's one that you can get the batter to swing at. It may not be a strikeout pitch, but it's one where you can get bad contact.
I love the wave fastball, a little bit off the plate. Breaking ball lined into center, just past the glove of Mezzanotte. Toffee will score. Adams will stroll into second base. So it will be 2-0 now in favor of Salisbury. Some great two-strike hitting we're seeing here from the Crimson Knights.
Yeah, you're down 1-2 in the count, and all you're really looking to do is make solid contact. You're not necessarily trying to drive the ball, but he was able to hit that one pretty hard out into center field.
Ring will come talk to Lubreski. Lubreski not doing a bad job, just leaving it a little bit up, I would say. Maybe catching too much of the plate. He's always around the plate, which is normally a good thing when you have an offense as boisterous as this one. It could be, it could spell some bad news, but you would rather a pitcher around the plate than walking a lot of people. Am I right, Sean?
Absolutely, and he's been hurt by a couple ground balls with highs that got through the infield too.
Number 7, David Kahn fouls this one off. So the count will go to 0-1. He's starting ahead of most of these hitters. David Kahn from New Orleans, Louisiana.
In his spare time, he is the former general manager of the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay. At such an early age. It's pretty impressive. The 0-1 to Kahn is swung on and grounded to third. Blair up with it. He'll get the easy out at second and over to first for a double play. We'll have a 5-4-3 double play, an outstanding defensive play to get Brett Lubreski out of a bit of a jam. So after the top of one, Salisbury leads Blair 2-0. Coming up for Blair Academy, we have Sean Lubreski, Eddie Blair, and Liam Sabino. And we'll take a look at that right after this. And around the diamond for Salsbury, behind the plate is Adams. At third base is Hewitt. Toffee will man the shortstop position. Dante Latessa at second base. Hovey at first. Brioso in left. Coppins in center. And January in right. And on the mound for this Salisbury team, Jacob Lamb, the senior. Left-handed pitcher. Lineup for Blair Academy is as follows: Sean Lubreski, Eddie Blair, Liam Sabino, Chris Mezzanotte, Brett Lubreski, Neil Ring, Christian Sook, Kyle Jaksic, and Jordan Barbarata. So the lineup is the same as it was on Friday, but we just have some positional changes as Kyle Jaksic is DHing today instead of playing catcher. Let's take a look at Coach Stone here. Coach Stone is in his 14th season. He's also the athletic director and the head football coach. He has led this team to back-to-back state championships, looking for back-to-back-to-back, a three-peat here in Prep A ball. Also in the running for a Maple championship this year, just as the football team was victorious in Maple play this fall. Coach Stone, a big reason why we are able to stream a lot of the events here. We were able to stream yesterday's girls lacrosse game, the baseball game this past Friday. On Thursday, the boys lacrosse game against Lenape Valley. And we'll be back next week for a couple of softball games and some more lacrosse the following week. So Sean Lubreski will step up to the plate. Lubreski has been phenomenal on the mound this year. Let's go through his pitching stats real quick. He is 4-0 on the year, got 37 strikeouts. At the dish, he's batting a cool .384 with 24 stolen bases, 8 RBI on the year, and Coach Stone told me he is definitely on pace to break the stolen base record at the school.
Oh, he is just a demon on the base pass. His ability to steal third base is what really impresses me, because a lot of guys have a hard time stealing third base. It's a shorter throw for the catcher to make, and he does it with ease. He gets in standing, stealing third base, no problem.
Is one of the things that Blair prides itself on. As the changeup comes in a little bit outside, it looks, oh, well, we're going to call that a strike. Well, it's 1-2 now to Sean Lebreski. And Lamb deals. This one in for a strike. Lebreski thought it was low, backed away from the plate. That will be the first out of the inning.
Looked a little low to me, too, a little inside. I don't know if that's one that you can really swing at as a batter. Even 1-2, there's really nothing you can do with that pitch.
Ed Lair steps to the dish now for Blair Academy. He is in the middle of a scorching hot streak, as this one is up high for a ball. As we said, again, he was 2 for 4 yesterday against Hun. He was also 3 for 4 against Petty with a double, a triple, and a single. This one flied out to right. Going back on it is January, and it will go off the fence, and January will catapult over the fence as well.
These fences a little more forgiving than your traditional fence on the side of a baseball field.
Yeah, these do get taken down to make way for the soccer fields here in the fall. The athletic fields here at Blair are used for various sports, all very well manicured, beautiful. I would say. Fresh Bermuda grass. The 1-1 to Lair is grounded to third. Hewitt up with it on the big hop, and he will get it over to first easily for the second out of the inning. So here comes Liam Sabino. And could be safe to say that we are seeing 2 of the best shortstops in the class of 2014 face off today between Will Toffee and Liam Sabino. Sabino also headed to Vanderbilt University. So these are 2 future teammates that are playing against one another. And the first pitch to Sabino is high for a ball. Just made that connection right now.
Well done.
That is interesting. And the 1-0 is high for a ball.
And getting behind Sabino in the count is generally not a good thing for a pitcher to do, Tom.
.396 on the year. He's got 4 home runs, 3 doubles, and 2 triples. Oh, he can find a gap with the best of them.
And oftentimes that gap is beyond the fence.
Sometimes it is. And the 3-0 is in for a strike, so we will have a 3-1 count here to the 3-hitter for Blair.
Our umpire today, not the quickest in making his strike calls.
Well, I think it is audibly it's quick, and this one swung on and missed for strike 2. This one looked like it could have been ball 4. A little bit high and outside, so now Sabino goes to work with 2 strikes. And this is inside for a ball. So Sabino will head to first base, and Blair will get a base runner on a nice at-bat by Liam Sabino, which will bring up Chris Mezzanotte, who, if Eddie Lair is on fire, Chris Mezzanotte is right behind him. .464 average on the year. He's got 5 stolen bases, 9 walks, so an excellent eye at the dish from the second baseman for Blair. Also, just a gorgeous swing, as this one is thrown over to first, but Sabino gets back.
And when you're hitting .464 with 9 walks, that's got to put your on-base percentage in the 600s.
Yeah.
Which is just ludicrous.
This one is high for a ball as Sabino gets a good secondary off of first. Not sure if he's thinking about running. Well, Coach Stone is always thinking about running, no matter how many outs or what the situation is, so we'll see if he will let Sabino loose here. Good move by Lamb, but Sabino able to get back.
Have to be a little more careful on first base against the left-handed pitcher, but
and this one is up high for a ball.
Certainly a good opportunity to try and steal second here, because worst case scenario, you still have your guy up next inning with a fresh count.
And a lot of times, and Lamb does not appear to be one of these pitchers, some lefties have their minds made up before they pitch, and this one is slapped into fair territory, but I think it hit Mezzanotte. Oh, it was catcher interference. So Mezzanotte let that thing travel as far as he could, and his swing hit the glove of Adams. I believe this might have been a hit and run. So we'll take another look at it and see what the deal was here as they check up on Adams.
Yeah, it looks like Adams may have hurt his hand a little bit on that one as we take a look at the replay.
So Sabino takes off towards second.
Oh.
And Adams comes up to make the throw, and he just kind of runs into Mezzanotti's bat. So Mezzanotte will be awarded first base, and that will bring up Brett Lubreski here with an opportunity to do some damage with two outs here in the bottom of the first inning, down 2.
And that's something you have to be careful as when you're catching. You can't just hop up and jump in front of the batter trying to throw down to second base. It's a dangerous game to play. Maybe you get yourself, you throw a guy out because you got a better jump, but every once in a while that's going to happen too.
So Adams will take a couple warm-up pitches here to see if he is good to go.
Appears to be all right.
That'll bring up Brett Lubreski, who is on the mound today for the Buccaneers, batting a swift .523 with 20 runs batted in and 8 doubles. So Lubreski getting an opportunity to help himself out here as the crowd begins to gather around Wakefield Diamond here on a beautiful Sunday, a windy Sunday.
Very windy.
Sabino leads off second base, this one high for a ball, so Blair doing a great job of taking pitches here, not chasing balls out of the zone so far. A very selective group of hitters. Latessa keeping Sabino on at second base, and this one is inside for a ball. So Lubreski works a 2-0 count, and it is very entertaining. Maybe not entertaining, but it is interesting to see the cat and mouse game that goes on second base when a Blair gets a runner to that position.
It's aggressive is a word for it, Tom.
And now they're going to try a back pick, but Sabino able to get back, and now he's going to head towards third base. Coppins up with it, a beautiful throw to Hewitt, and Hewitt will put the tag on Sabino. That was an excellent play in center field by Coppins. Mason Coppins with a great throw to get the runner at third. So a back pick was unsuccessful, but Coppins able to clean it up in center field. And that's kind of the risk that you take, Sean, when you are that aggressive at second base. At some point they're going to throw behind, and we're going to try to take a look at it here from our angle behind home plate. So a good secondary here from Sabino. Adams with the attempt. Not a great throw, so it sails into the outfield. I believe a good throw on time would have been late anyway. And Sabino takes off, runs towards third, and Coppins makes an absolutely perfect throw. Good job by Hewitt to stay on the ball and make the tag. So that'll be the third out of the inning. And as I try to figure out how to score this in the book, we will head to the top of the second. Salisbury leading 2-0. Welcome back to Wakefield Diamond alongside Sean Lerman. I am Tom Monfiletto. This is Strive Network's coverage of Blair Academy Baseball. As Salsbury, the visiting Salisbury Crimson Knights, lead the Blair Buccaneers by a score of 2-0 here in the top of the second. George Hewitt at the plate for the Crimson Knights takes a ball high to start off the top of the second. This one swung on and missed. Hewitt, of course, the brother of Anthony Hewitt, who was drafted by, Sean, your hometown team, the Philadelphia Phillies.
Yeah, 24th overall in the 2008 MLB first-year player draft. It's a talented family.
That was the year that I graduated from college, and I stood in front of a computer waiting for an announcement or a phone call after batting .240 my senior year at Hamilton College. Thought I had a couple nice defensive games that showed the scouts something, but never got that call.
Oh, sorry to hear that, Tom.
Count is 2-1. This one will be popped towards right field. Holliday making his way under it. Wynn takes it, and a nice play by Kevin Holliday. Kevin Holliday is just an excellent baseball player.
He really is. He's one of those guys that just wakes up playing baseball. I mean, he does everything you ask him to do on the field. He's a solid hitter. He gets on base. Lightning fast on the base pass, can steal some bags, and just like there, can cover a lot of ground, make some good plays in the outfield as well.
It was a nice play. Good job judging the wind as Samuel Brioso takes a strike. Brioso playing left field today, can also catch a little bit. And this one is fouled high in the air. Lubreski coming in for it, and now Ring will make the catch behind home plate. A very good reaction by the catcher as he kind of realized late that it was his ball. But a nice play by Ring behind the plate for the second out of the inning.
And that is so difficult as a catcher when that ball is 100% straight up. Not a step to your left, not a step to your right, forward or backwards. It is straight up on a windy day like today. So hard to read.
Dante Latessa, the sophomore, takes a strike. Quick shout out to Ed and Annette watching in Rhode Island, Chindan, as Latessa takes a ball here. Count goes to 1-1. Latessa from Brookline, Massachusetts. And this one will be high for a ball. 2-1 the count now to the second baseman as Brett Lubreski has kind of settled into a bit of a groove here. As this one goes high, so 3-1 the count to Latessa. And the 3-1 is high for a ball, so Latessa will reach base here with 2 outs in the inning, and that will bring up Mason Coppins, who singled his first time up.
And that wasn't a bad pitch. 3-1, you come in on the inner half of the plate, not necessarily a strike, but one that you can maybe get the batter to swing at for a strike. Just didn't work out for Lubreski that time.
Breaking ball in for a strike. Coppins with a nice play in center field, which was in the scorebook. It went down as a 2.685 as this one grounded sharply to first. Sook able to make contact, and a good job covering by Brett Lubreski will get the third out of the inning. So an excellent second inning after a shaky first for Lubreski. Gets Blair back into the dugout, only losing 2-0, and they have an opportunity to get right back on the board here as they will come to the plate. And let's see who is up for them. I believe we have Neil Ring, Christian Sook. No, Lubreski will come back up to the plate because the last out of the inning was made on the base pass. So we'll have Brett Lubreski, Neil Ring, Christian Sook coming up right after this. Brett Lubreski steps into the plate to start off the top of the second inning to face Jacob Lamb. And the first pitch to Lubreski is fouled back. So the count will go to 0-1. And his breaking ball in there for a strike. Count will go to 0-2.
I don't mind Lubreski laying off that pitch. I know it's in there for a strike too, but that's a tough pitch to swing at.
And this one paints the outside corner. A tremendous pitch from Lamb. Gets the first out of the inning. That'll bring up Neil Ring. Ring on a bit of a hot streak himself. Although batting only .213 on the year, is starting to see the ball really well as this one is swung on and missed. Ring behind the plate today, giving Kyle Jaksic a bit of a break as the 0-1 is taken low for a ball. Lamb throwing it in there pretty well, Sean. One thing that we haven't instituted to our software is we will siphon the Mamigo team to get this done is radar, so that would be a nice feature to have here.
He's throwing some gas, and he's mixing up his pitches really well.
As this one lined into right field for a base hit, Neil Ring on board. The first hit of the game for Blair. As we said, seeing the ball really well, letting it travel, putting a nice swing on it to right field. So we'll have Ring at first, which will bring up Christian Sook, the first baseman for Blair Academy.
I am so impressed by Blair Academy's ability as a team to take the ball to opposite field. How many times in this game already have guys been able to make contact to the opposite side of the field? Now, it doesn't always land fair. Sometimes it's going to get caught. But guys are very willing to go with the pitch.
I think we've seen that from both squads today, and that's how you hit. I don't know how else to say it. That's how you hit. You look at Miguel Cabrera's home runs, most of them go to the opposite field. Pujols, when he was locked in 2-3 years ago, see a lot of his home runs go to the opposite field as well. Ryan Howard, you always hear about him when he is really locked in. Where does he hit the ball? He hits it to left field. So it's the best power, it's the best swing you could put on the ball when you see it deep enough to go the opposite way.
That's the kind of hitter I was, Tom.
Oh, that's excellent.
That's regular Ryan Howard.
So 250 with a boatload of strikeouts, huh?
You know what? That's about right.
This will be low for a ball. So the count will go to 2-0 to Christian Sook. Sook had the semi-walk-off on Friday as he ended the game with a line drive base hit to left field that sealed the 10-run rule here for Blair against their rival Petty, as this one fouled off down the first base line. Count goes to 2-1. Good move from Lamb. Does not fool Lubreski.
Lamb does have a good move over there to first base.
And Lubreski heading towards second. Good throw by Adams. And they'll get Lubreski before he can even reach. Or that was J.V. Lewis, I'm sorry. J.V. Lewis was the courtesy runner for Neil Ring. Why I kept thinking that. J.V. Lewis, member of the football Maple Championship team as well as the swim team. So that'll be the second out of the inning. As Sook swung through that. Wasn't sure if that was supposed to be a hit and run. Sook swings through this, and I think they're calling this a foul ball. So the fielders will have to retreat back to their positions. Trying to clear this up. It appeared as if it was a drop third strike and a play made over to first, and that's exactly what it was. So that will retire the side here as we head to the top of the third inning with Salisbury still leading 2-0. Ryan January steps to the plate here for the Salisbury School. He is 0 for 1 on the day with a ground out to Chris Mezzanotte. Alongside Sean Lerman, I'm Tom Monfiletto. This is the Strive Network's coverage of Blair Academy Spring Sports, as this one is low for a ball. The count now 1-1. This one outside for a ball. And this one fouled towards us here down the third baseline. And it will be out of play, so the count goes to 2-2. Ryan January is a senior from Swampscott, Massachusetts.
Feels like a January day out here today.
It's nice, just the wind is unbearable. And this one is swung on and missed for strike 3. So the first out of the inning goes by way of strikes. And that will bring up Will Toffee for Salsbury. Toffee 1 for 1 with a single to right field in his first plate appearance. And the first pitch is up high for a ball. Toffee from Barnstable, Massachusetts. As this one is skied out to left field. Going back on it is Barbarata. It will drop in front of the fence, take one hop off of the wall, and Toffee will stand in safely for a double to get things started here for Salisbury in the top of the third.
And that was a hard hit ball. The wind blowing here. That's, just one that you can't get to as an outfielder. And he's standing safely on second.
Kyle Adams at the dish for Salisbury. He's 1 for 1 with a base hit to left field in his first plate appearance. He also has an assist on the day as he threw out courtesy runner J.V. Lewis in the bottom of the second inning. And that throw, Sean, really didn't get above the waist of the pitcher. It was, I don't know if it could have been any more on the money.
It was just about perfect. Yeah, there's really no other word other than it was just a perfect throw.
A great tag applied by Toffee, who now stands on second base. And time is called at the plate. Coach Stone, Neil Ring, working together to keep Toffee close at second base, as you see Sabino right behind him. And the first pitch, breaking ball in for a strike. So Lubreski not shying away from all of his pitches here early in the game, Sean.
No, he's confidently throwing his off-speed stuff on the first pitch to batters.
So the count goes to 1-1 on Adams. Eddie Blair playing a few steps back behind third base. He is guarding the line rather closely. Lubreski taking a couple looks at second base, and this one is popped foul down the first base line. Sook giving chase, and he will make the catch up against the fence and try to double off Toffee at second. Toffee back in safely, but the second out of the inning on an excellent play. Great awareness by Christian Sook at first base.
And I'm not sure what Toffee's doing off the bag at second base. It's a foul ball, so there's no reason to be anywhere but standing on second base.
I just think that he might have wanted to probably force a throw there, and if that went into the outfield, he could get easily into third base, as this one is in for a strike to Hovey. Hovey headed to the University of Massachusetts to play for Coach Stone's brother next year. This one grounded foul down the first baseline, so Lubreski ahead immediately 0-2.
Salsbury's done some good work today, hitting, though, with 2 strikes. So Lubreski can't back off here. He's got to come with his best stuff, 0-2.
Lubreski doing a great job changing speeds, changing the eye level of the Salisbury hitters. That's where he's had success all year. And this one is up high for a ball. But even, as I said, a pitch like that, high for a ball, you change the eye level of the hitter, you go to a different plane, and now he can come low with something. And it'll look extremely different to the hitter. It'll be a lot more difficult. Lubreski takes a look at second base, and he steps off as Ring will come out for a chat.
After that high and away fastball, maybe not a bad idea. Come down and in with a breaking ball that comes right in at the knees of the hitter would be something that, as a catcher, I would probably make.
That's
that
what
call.
you would do.
That's
okay.
what I would do in this situation.
That's good to know. That is good to know. We'll see what Coach Stone calls here, as this one is grounded sharply to second base. Mezzanotte up with it, and he will make the third out of the inning. An outstanding job by Brett Lubreski to get through the meat of this Salisbury order, and that will bring up the Blair hitters here in the bottom of the third inning as Salisbury leads 2-0. Welcome back to Wakefield Diamond. Alongside Sean Lerman, I'm Tom Monfiletto. Bring you Strive's coverage of Blair versus Salisbury here on the baseball field. Two of the most outstanding programs in the Northeast, facing each other for the second time. This time it counts. They faced each other in somewhat of a scrimmage that they both clearly played to win, as Blair was able to come out victorious by a score of 1-0. Kyle Jaksic swings through one, unable to check his swing, and probably would have been called on the pitch as well. Jaksic with a huge double in yesterday's game, headed to Lynchburg University. Usually the team's everyday catcher. This one in for a strike, so the count quickly goes to 0-2. And this one fouled off, so Jaksic will have new life here.
Wind with a new life as well right now.
Oh boy, Jaksic batting .383 on the year. He's got 10 runs batted in.
Would you say that's a cool 383 or a swift 383?
It's a brisk.
Oh, a brisk 383.
383.
All right.
This one taken high for a ball. Nope. Sorry, I entered that incorrectly into my score sheet. And this one taken for a ball as well, so the count goes to 2-2.
Nice eye up there by Jaksic to work it back even after going down early in the count. We'll see if he can get something to hit.
And this one high for a ball, so he works it to 3-2. See how Jaksic battles here. Jaksic DHing for Kevin Holliday today. And this one a called strike 3 as Jaksic flips the bat towards the dugout and makes his way towards first. And the home plate umpire says, "Sir, we'd like you to come back here." And that'll bring up Jordan Barbarata. Smoked a 2-run home run in yesterday's victory against Hun. Barbarata, along with Hovey, headed to the University of Massachusetts to play for another Coach Stone. As this one is in for a strike. Barbarata seeing the ball very well, as this one is smoked right at Will Toffey. Well, it wasn't right at him. An extremely athletic play as Toffey able to get a good couple of feet off the ground to snag that one, but a nice piece by Barbarata. Nonetheless, the second out of the inning.
Well, later this season, Barbarata deserves himself a Texas League or something that just falls in a pop fly that somehow lands between a couple fielders, because that was a frozen rope line drive that just happened to get caught.
We'll bring up Sean Lubreski. Lubreski struck out in his first plate appearance. So he faked a bunt in his first pitch that he saw, and this one will be low for a ball. Count goes to 1-1. This one taken for a strike. And Lubreski needs to find a way to just get on base because he has proven to be an absolute terror when he does. And Lubreski swings through this one. That'll be the third out of the inning. So no one reaches base, no errors. A couple of strikeouts here for Salisbury as they enter the fourth inning with a 2-0 lead. David Kahn steps to the plate here as we desperately try to hold back the canopy as this wind is tornado-like here at Wakefield Diamond. David Kahn 0 for 1 on the day. He is DHing for pitcher Jacob Lamb. So he takes a ball. Count goes to 1-0. Lamb reached on a fielder's choice his last time up. Actually, I think Lamb grounded into a double play. Had that scored wrong here. This one appears to be inside. Not sure where else it could have been.
Yeah, not quite sure where that one missed.
Now it goes to 3-0, and this one in for a strike.
Good pitch there. Got him swinging, missing. Looking a little silly up at the plate on that swing. That was a beautiful pitch.
Lubreski settling into a bit of a groove here. This is, I think, so far his most impressive start of the season. Don't want to jinx him. Eddie Blair coming in, making a tough play, and this will go off the glove of Sook. But a good backup by Holiday will keep Kahn at first base. So a tough play. Probably have to be ruled an error on Blair.
But definitely a tough play. That's not one that you say, well, he has to make that play. You look at that and you say, well, you know, if he makes it, that's great. If not, I mean, that's a decent piece of hitting to get on base.
Almost like a swinging bunt there from Kahn as he takes the lead off of first base. The first pitch to Hewitt is in for a strike. And the bunt is laid down. I was going to say perfectly, but it was right at Lubreski, and he'll get the lead runner at second base. Great play, great awareness there by Brett Lubreski to get the lead runner on that bunt to keep the double play in order.
And that's what happens when you have such a good athlete on the mound. A lot of pitchers don't have the quickness to finish their throwing motion, get off the mound, get the ball, and make that play at second base, but a wonderful job.
This one smoked into center field. Hewitt rounding third. Brioso, the left fielder, and a great swing on it. First pitch swinging here from Brioso. We'll take another look at it right here. Smokes this one out into right center field. Finds a huge gap out there. This is a pretty big outfield, Sean. It's the first pitch to Latessa is in for a strike.
A lot of room to work with as a hitter. You love that.
And this one nubbed off the hands to Sabino at short. So 2 outs in the inning. Lubreski doing a great job keeping the runners on base.
That's the
here.
kind of
runners
out.
in scoring position, absolutely.
That's the kind of out you need when you have runners on second and third with 1 out. A little nothing, little humpback liner to your second baseman, to your shortstop. Nothing getting out of the infield. Good pitching.
So that will bring up is it Latessa? It looks like number 1. Is it a pinch hitter here?
It's Coppins.
Oh, it's Mason Coppins. So that was Latessa who made the last out. Missed that one. So Coppins, the leadoff hitter, will be up now for Salsbury. Coppins fouls this one back. Count will go to 0-1. Hewitt leads off of third. The count was at 0-2, so that'll be in for a ball. So the count is now 1-2. Hewitt on third, Brioso on second. Coppins at the dish. He is 1 for 2 on the day. His first hit was a ground ball between short and third that Sabino was able to dive and corral, but didn't have a play at first. And the 1-2 is lined through the middle for a base hit. In to score will be Hewitt, rounding third, and scoring is Brioso, and a 2-run single from Mason Coppins to keep things going here for Salisbury with 2 outs.
And that's a big, big hit. Down 2-0. You can, I mean, not that you can't come down from 4-0, but down 2-0 is certainly a more manageable situation, and that would have been a big out to get.
So 2 more runs will score, making the lead 4-0 here for Salisbury, as Lubreski with a quick pickoff move, but Coppins back in safely. Ryan January at the plate. He is 0 for 2 on the day. January a strikeout in his last plate appearance, a ground out in his first plate appearance. And off goes Coppins. A pitch out, Ring with the throw down to second base, and it looked like Sabino might have tagged Coppins as he got off the bag, but he was able to hold it the whole time. A nice slide. A good throw from Ring. Coppins extremely quick.
Yeah, great job by Coppins to hold on to that bag. He slid to the back corner of the bag to get away from that tag and was able to hold on as he slid his body around.
And this one will squirt underneath the glove of Mezzanotte. Coppins will score easily and into second base, but thrown out. Ryan January, a great play by Lubreski and a nice tag by Liam Sabino at short. I'm going to try to take another look at this to see the tag here as the ball went under Mezzanotti's glove. And I wasn't sure if it was Lubreski or Holiday that came up throwing. So that was Holiday. So a nice throw to second base and a beautiful tag by Sabino. A nice quick tag that will get January at second, but not before a run scores. So the score goes to 5-0 in favor of Salisbury as we head in to the bottom of the 4th inning. Ed Blair will get things going here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Blair is 0 for 1 on the day. Starting to feel some raindrops here as Blair smokes this one into center field. First pitch he sees, and he is on base with a single. Eddie Blair stays hot here as Blair gets a base runner on. And that'll bring up Liam Sabino.
Good piece of aggressive hitting. Go after that first pitch. When your offense needs to score some runs, you can do it quickly by hitting that first one out into center field.
Now, I'm not sure if this is a hurricane or not, but this is absolutely the most absurd weather I've ever been a part of.
And it's turned so quickly. It was sunny and windy, but sunny. Now it is, the skies are dark.
And this one in for a strike to Sabino. Up high for a ball. Good take from the 3-hitter. Sabino 0 for 0 on the day with a walk.
The good news, about the weather is that with it being so windy, hopefully this little storm will blow through quickly. Looking on the bright side.
And Sabino grounds this one hop to second base. Latessa can't make the out at second, but he does make the out at first. So a good job recovering there by Dante Latessa. We'll get the lead runner, or not get the lead runner, but we'll get the quick runner in Sabino. So Eddie Blair will advance to second base, and that'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Chris Mezzanotte.
Mezzanotte and NJ.com all prep selection.
Had an outstanding year last year and has followed suit at the plate this year. As this one in for a ball. Lamb with only 48 pitches on the day, making good work out of his start here. That 54% strikes. Blair takes a lead off of second base. And Mezzanotte skies this one out to deep center field. Coppin's back on it, and he will settle underneath and make the catch. And absolutely rocket this one into third base. We take a look at that again. Watch this throw from Mason Coppins. He's headed to Northeastern next year. So he gets behind it nicely and unleashes an absolute cannon. Gets it in the air to Hewitt.
Goodness. Oh my.
That was something to see. That'll bring up Brett Lubreski. As he will take a ball on the outside part of the plate. Or off the plate to the outside, I should say. Blair leads off second. 2 outs in the inning. Count 1-0 to Brett Lubreski, the pitcher for the Buccaneers. He will take this one high. Lubreski 0 for 1 on the day. Struck out looking in his first plate appearance. Swung on and missed for the first strike of the at-bat. So we are starting to get some saturation from the sky. Blair leads off second, takes a good secondary. This one fouled back by Lubreski.
Lubreski certainly is not passive up at the plate right now. He got that 2-0 count, and now he's starting to attack these pitches. Looking to drive something to the outfield and get that first important run home for Blair.
You don't hit above 500 if you can't get a hit with 2 strikes. So here he goes. Another foul ball back and out of play. So we have the sun fighting its way through just an absolute relentless army of clouds here. Let's hope it's Mayweather and the clouds are whoever the heck he beat last night. Sabini. And this one lined between first and second. That'll be a base hit. Blair rounding third, coming home, and he will be in safely. An outstanding 2-strike hit for Brett Lubreski. Plates the first run for Blair Academy.
Big piece of clutch hitting there. 2 strikes, 2 outs, man on second base, drives it into right field. And, you know, they say that the hardest one to get is the first run, Tom. Once you get that first one home, the other ones start to follow.
And we're going to take a look at this hit here, staying back on it nicely. The ball caught a little bit too much of the plate. I think that Lamb probably would have wanted. And Blair hustling around third base, all starting with a good secondary off of second base. Gets the run in for Blair. So the score now 5-1. And that'll bring up Neil Ring, who singled in his first time up.
Today's game being broadcast from atop Mount Washington.
Yeah, the sun fights, as do the Bucks. Here in the bottom of the 4th. And the 1-0, or I'm sorry, the 0-1 to Ring is high for a ball. off the handle and into foul territory. The count will go now to 1-2. So Ring looking to battle as Lubreski did to keep this inning going.
Blair not giving up. They got down a little bit in this game, but their attitude, certainly, they have not been getting down.
Good eye by Ring, gets the count to 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th. And Lamb tries to get Lubreski at first, but Lubreski back in with a dive. Ring on a bit of a hot streak of his own, as this one is up high for a ball, so the count goes to 3-2. Lamb gets the sign, gives a look over to Lubreski, and this is in for a strike on the inside corner. So Ring down on strikes, but not before Blair is able to strike with a run of their own of a single from Brett Lubreski. So we will head to the top of the 5th inning with Salsbury leading Blair 5-1. Top of the 5th set to start here alongside Sean Lerman. I'm Tom Monfiletto here live from Blair Academy as the Bucks trail the Crimson Knights of Salisbury 5-1. Will Toffee will step up to the plate, batting 2 for 2 on the day. He's got a single and a double. And a nice play at shortstop as well. Breaking ball is in for a strike.
That's a nice pitch. Just caught the corner down by the knees.
Lubreski at 62 pitches so far as this one sails outside for a ball. This one grounded sharply foul down the first base side. Lubreski doing a pretty good job so far. He's given up the 5 runs. I think one of them is unearned, but he had a situation where there were runners on 2nd and 3rd with 1 out, got the 2nd out, and was unable to get Coppins out, the leadoff hitter here, headed to Northeastern for Salisbury, as this one is in for a ball. But, you know, aside from that one pitch that Coppins was able to get into center field to plate 2, I think he's done a pretty fantastic job. He gave up the long double to Brioso, but other than that, I think he's done pretty well. This one down low for a ball.
I know, you're absolutely right, Tom. He's battled today. He's gotten, behind his in counts and battled back. He's gotten ahead in counts and worked efficiently to get guys out. A couple runs got across on him, but he's pitched very well today.
And this one will be low and inside for ball 4, as Toffee will lead off the top of the 5th with a walk. We'll bring up the catcher, Kyle Adams, 1 for 2 on the day. Adams flied out in foul territory his last time up. And the first pitch to Adams is grounded foul down the first base line. So Lubreski keeps his location down. Could be an opportunity for a double play. Adams not slow, but he is the catcher here for the Salisbury Crimson Knights.
And Tom, that's another thing that Lubreski's done well today is he's pitched low in the zone. He hasn't let that ball get up too high in the zone on most of these batters.
Giving up a couple of doubles, one to Toffee, one to Brioso, but still some decent pitches there. And his problems have not been with location. He hasn't walked many batters. His problems have really been catching a little bit too much of the plate. This one lined out to left field, and it is a fair ball. Around second and into third is Toffee, and he's going to put the brakes on as this throw sails above the cutoff man. But Neil Ring comes out and blocks it. So another double there, this time from Kyle Adams, the catcher.
That was a good piece of hitting, going to left field down the line. And there's really nothing you can do about that. It wasn't a bad pitch, it was just a good hit.
So Lubreski in as much trouble as he's seen today. Runners on second and third, nobody out. And Coach Stone will bring the Blair infield up to the grass. Scott Hovey, headed to the University of Massachusetts next year, will take the first one low for a ball.
That was a nice block behind the plate there for Ring, because with this deep backstop here at Blair, you let a ball get by you, that's easily a run.
A quick conference on the mound with Sabino and Ring. Might look to take advantage of some aggressive leads and base running here by Salsbury, but the Blair infield remains up on the grass. This is in for a strike, so the count will go to 1-1. Hovey 1 for 2 on the day. This one smoked out to right field, but it will be foul. So way ahead of that one as the count goes to 1-2.
That was one of those Gary Matthews. I'm sorry. One of those. The guy who played for Gary Sheffield is the name that I was looking for. Foul balls where the base coaches need to watch out because he was always so early on the ball. Gary Matthews. That's what I was. That happens.
So you were thinking.
Getting my Garys mixed up.
I think that's why they started wearing helmets at third and first.
Yeah, smart decision.
This one swung on and missed. Another strikeout for Lubreski for the first out of the inning. Pretty decent trait for a pitcher is to be able to get these big outs with runners in scoring position. And Lubreski's done a pretty good job of that so far.
And he's going to have to get a couple more here now, but I have some confidence in him, and I think he has some confidence on the mound right now with the way he's pitching.
5-1 is the score. That will bring up number 7, Dave Kahn. Takes the first one for a ball. A strikeout or a pop out or a ground ball right at one of the infielders. That's what Blair is hoping for as a strike is called here on Kahn. Kahn 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on an error in his last plate appearance.
Infield in right now. Outfield still pretty much regular depth.
And this one lined in the left field, a base hit. Toffee will score. Adams around third. Throw to the plate is not in time. A good slide by Adams. And Ring's throw to second goes into center field. And heading to third base and in safely is Dave Kahn. So 2 more runs on the board for Salisbury off of the base hit from Kahn. And the Crimson Knights lead 7-1 now as George Hewitt steps to the plate.
And, that's a shame because that's one where, you have to have your infield in to cut off the runs. But if you've got your infield at regular depth, Sabino might have a chance to jump up and catch that one because it wasn't hit very high.
And this one lined into center field for another base hit. So Hewitt will plate Kahn for the 8th run here for Salisbury. Salisbury really squaring these balls up nicely as Coach Stone will come out for his first mound visit.
And I think we are going to have a new pitcher coming into the game.
So Lubreski will exit the game. His line, 4.1 innings pitched, 10 hits, 8 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. As Barbarata will come in from left field to throw off the mound. And Brett Lubreski will replace him in left. Jordan Barbarata from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, as we said earlier, is headed to UMass to play. He's also planning on playing quarterback here for Blair before he sustained an injury in training camp. And he is just weeks off of surgery and doing a fantastic job for this Blair team. He is 1-0 on the year. He's pitched 8 innings, 10 strikeouts.
That's a nice ratio right there. More than a strikeout per inning pitched. That's elite level.
It is, and Sean, when you look at every single position here on this Blair team, behind the plate, Neil Ring can pitch. At third base, Ed Lair can pitch. At shortstop, Liam Sabino has done some closing for him. He can throw. Second base, Chris Mezzanotte has thrown some innings this year. In left field, of course, Brett Lubreski. In center field, the ace of the staff, Sean Lubreski. At first base, the number 2 starter for Blair is Christian Sook. And in right field, Kevin Holliday hasn't pitched at all this year. But this is a team that has a ton of pitchers. And when you get down into tournament time, in the Prep A tournament, which is a double elimination 4-team tournament, having this much pitching, especially if you get in that loser's bracket where you have to come from behind and then win 2 games as they did last year in the finals to win the championship, having this abundance of pitching is really beneficial.
And even now, at this point in the season, they've played 3 games in 3 days now, and if you don't have a deep pitching staff, then you're going to have some problems, because then you're going to be bringing in guys to pitch who really shouldn't be pitching, but everybody who steps on this mound for Blair is capable of throwing a gem.
Brioso doubled in his last plate appearance. The first pitch from Barbarata will reach the backstop, and Hewitt will advance to second base. Barbarata takes a look at Hewitt at second, a second look, and now comes to the plate, and this one will be in for a strike. Can't hear because of the wind, so we have to get the visual confirmation, which comes a good 3 to 4 seconds after the pitch crosses home plate. This one swung on and missed for strike 2.
Nice pitch from Barbarata there.
Barbarata takes his second look at Hewitt at second base, and this one grounded to short. Sabino able to keep it from going into the outfield, but it ricochets off his glove, and Brioso will reach safely.
Good base running by Hewitt to make it over to third. Even though it was a ball hit to that side of the field, he was able to read it and see that he could make it over to third.
Good base running from Hewitt allows for a first and third situation here for Salisbury with Dante Latessa, second baseman, at the plate. Another good block by Ring, but Brioso is going to take off and take second. So now runners on second and third. I believe that will probably be ruled as defensive indifference as the throw did not go down to second base. Latessa with a 2-1 count. This one will be high for a ball. So 3-1 to Latessa from Brookline, Massachusetts. Grandparents watching in Rhode Island. And the 3-1 swung on and fouled back. Latessa, only a sophomore. Getting some great experience here on
absolutely, wow.
Phenomenal team here that Salisbury has in 2014. And this one is high for a ball. So he did not have 3 balls. He had 2. Count now goes to 3-2. And this one swung on and missed. Did not have 2 strikes either. Sean, feel free to step in and correct me there.
I had it correctly myself, and then I looked up at the scoreboard here, and the scoreboard here at the field
being operated by a certain Quashay Hendricks, who is struggling immensely. So that will be ball 4 to Latessa, which now loads the bases for the leadoff hitter, Mason Coppins, as he takes a pitch low for a ball. Coppins 2 for 3 on the day. So he singled to center field and then singled between short and third his first time up. And this one will be low for a ball once again.
Barbarata in a bit of a bind here, but looking to get out of it. He is trying to keep the ball low in the zone, get himself that potential double play opportunity.
And this one grounded under the glove of Eddie Blair. Hewitt will score. Brioso will stop at third, so they will go station to station here, but another run for Salsbury. And that'll bring up Ryan January.
He got the ground ball he wanted, just not where he wanted it.
January 0 for 3 on the day. Good lefty hitter from Swampscott, Massachusetts. January only a sophomore as well. So some good young talent mixed in with some excellent veteran talent here for Salisbury.
That's a nice recipe for success.
Have Brioso on third, Latessa on second, and Mason Coppins leads off of first. Corners are up for Blair. 1 out in the inning. And this one lined into right field, caught by Holliday. And a nice play from Kevin Holliday will make the second out of the inning. So Brioso unable to tag on that as it was hit probably too hard for him to do it. Holliday shown off his arm earlier in the game. So
I think he took off a couple steps thinking it was going to fall rather than play it safe and just immediately tag up. And that cost Salisbury a run.
Yeah, so the runners will stay put. We have 2 outs in the inning, and that will bring up Toffee, the 3-hitter, who is 2 for 2 on the day with a walk. Toffee will take a low strike.
Good spot. Another good one.
This
nice
one
pitch.
Paints the black on the outside for another strike, so Barbarata ahead 0-2 early. Takes a look at Brioso and fires this one past Toffee for Barbarata's first strikeout of the game. Looks like he might have taken some off of that, Sean, to get the strikeout. So the score, 9-1 Salisbury, as Blair enters the bottom of the 5th inning. 9-1 is the score now in the bottom of the 5th as Christian Sook heads to the plate here for Blair Academy. Alongside Sean Lerman, I'm Tom Monfiletto. And this one will be taken outside for a ball. Sook 0 for 1 on the day.
Sook threw a nice game out here against Petty the other day.
This one grounded through the hole. A nice base hit here for Christian Sook to get things going here in the bottom of the 5th. Sook coming into the game was batting .231 with 9 runs batted in. That'll bring up the catcher, or actually DH today, Kyle Jaksic. Jaksic struck out in his first plate appearance. He'll take a strike on the inside quarter here. Jaksic with a huge opposite field double in yesterday's game against Hun. Jaksic, a tremendous opposite field hitter. As this one is in for a strike, much to the chagrin of Jaksic. Looked a little bit inside. So the count goes 0-2 now. Lamb through 4 is at 65 pitches, and the 66th pitch is grounded to Toffee at short, over to Latessa at second, and this one will get by Hovey at first as Jaksic heads to second base, and he will be thrown out by Kyle Adams backing up on the play.
That's tough. He made the right decision to go to second base. It was just a good... The ball didn't get quite as far away as our canopy blows away from us here. The ball didn't get quite as far away from the first baseman over there as you would have expected. So normally, going to second base would have been the right call there.
That is the second out of the game as we scramble here to keep things in order. Thank you to James Atkins and Quashay Hendricks. Quashay Hendricks has done a pretty atrocious job on the scoreboard. He has helped out tremendously.
Wow, hating on Q.
We're just missing. This one, I think, in for a ball to Barbarata. Count goes to 2-1. Barbarata doing a nice job of keeping the hitters at bay as he entered in an unfortunate situation in the top of the 5th. I shouldn't say unfortunate, a less than ideal situation in the top of the 5th. Able to get out of it with bases loaded. And this one grounded to short. Toffee to his right makes a wide throw to first, and Barbarata will reach base safely. Barbarata with some serious wheels. He was brought in to play the option quarterback here for Blair, as Blair runs the triple option.
He certainly showed off those wheels getting down to first base there. As Toffee thought he had a lot more time than he did. Then he came up with the ball, realized how quickly he was getting down the line, and had to gun it over there.
You know, I think we're gonna rule that a base hit for Barbarata, because it was such a tough play for Toffee to make. He was all the way in the hole to his right, and it looked like Barbarata was probably going to beat it out anyway. So the 1-0 pitch to Lubreski is inside for a ball. Count goes to 2-0. Lamb takes a look at Barbarata and now deals to Lubreski, and this one will be inside. Count goes to 3-0. So although the score remains 9-1 in favor of Salisbury, Sean, this has provided an opportunity for what would be an extremely fun and incredible comeback if Blair were to find a way to get some runs on the board.
Just an opportunity for a great story.
As Lubreski takes ball 4 on 4 straight pitches, he will head down to first, and that'll bring up Eddie Blair, who's seeing the ball extremely well. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Blair 1 for 2 on the day. Ripped a single, the first pitch that he saw in his last plate appearance. And he will take this one for a strike. And the 0-1 breaking ball is outside for a ball, so the count goes to 1-1. This one foul back, good cut from Blair. Oh. Almost hitting a bystander. Blair coming into this game was our Strive Spotlight, batting .431 on the year.
Wow.
8 extra base hits.
That's a high number.
2 of those extra base hits came on Friday against Petty. And he has just developed into an absolutely outstanding hitter. An extremely dangerous hitter, 3 for 4 against Petty, 2 for 4 against Hun. He's 1 for 2 today. Hit the ball extremely well for Blair last year. As Coach Stone, at the time, seemed like a leap of faith by putting him in the 2-hole. He was a young sophomore, still a little bit raw, but really in that state tournament was phenomenal. Hit the ball all over the field, it really did. And this is a kid that works his butt off in the offseason. You see him grinding. I remember when we were here doing games in the fall, he was running the stadium steps up and down. Long tossing with Liam Sabino.
When we did the Blair Petty game the other day, he was the first player out on the field for warm-ups.
He will take this one. I believe this is outside. Now the count goes to 2-2. Got 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. And this one grounded off the end of the bat. Toffee gets it on the right side of second base, and he'll throw out Blair by about a half a step. So a beautiful play there by Toffee to make up for his errant throw earlier in the inning. And Salsbury will come up to the plate with a 9-1 lead in the top of the 6th. Top of the 6th here, Salisbury leads Blair 9-1. Kyle Adams will step to the dish here for Salisbury, coming off an outstanding play in the field, Sean, where he backed up first and threw out Kyle Jaksic at second base by the slimmest of margins. But it was a great hustle and a beautiful throw to get him out.
It absolutely was. Just a great job by him. And the operative word there, Tom, it's hustle.
Yeah. He's also 2 for 3 at the plate as he takes this one low for a ball. Barbarata on the mound for Blair Academy. He's 1-0 on the year. And this one will be low once again for a ball. I believe we have a new catcher in the game. Might be this one foul down the first baseline. Who is it? And this one in for a strike. So the count now 2-2. This one grounded to short. Sabino gets a short hop and throws it over to first for the out. A nice play by Liam Sabino. He's going to take it. I believe he wanted to get it on the big hop, but it kind of dove at the last second. Yeah. So we got it on the short hop and made a nice throw over to first as we try to take a look at it from behind home plate. Comes up nicely and able to get Adams out at first. So Barbarata gets the first one of the inning, and that will bring up Hovey. In to catch for Blair is David Hidalgo Gato. Freshman, number 4. He looks very smooth behind the plate.
Doesn't look like a freshman.
Does not at all. I even like the way he just throws the ball back to the pitcher, even though he sailed one of them. This one will go off his knee for a ball. This one fouled back.
Over our direction. I was ready after I totally booted a ball the other day.
Yeah, we had a couple unfortunate mishaps here on the broadcast booth. This one swung on and missed. A good pitch there from Barbarata. Had Hovey chasing. Hovey 1 for 3 on the day. Hovey the batter and Barbarata the pitcher both headed to the University of Massachusetts, as this one is fisted towards center field, but Sabino will make the basket catch in short center field for the second out of the inning.
Good range by Sabino. Then he had to kind of readjust, as with the way the wind's blowing right now, the ball just suddenly died and took a straight trajectory towards the ground. He was able to change his glove angle and make the catch.
And this one will be in for a strike. And we're going to take a look at the catch here from Sabino as he leaves the shot there, so didn't quite have it. It was a good hustle and a nice athletic play. This one swung on and missed by Dave Kahn, who had a big 2-run single in his last plate appearance, came all the way around to third base. Two outs in the inning. Both of them going to Liam Sabino at short. This one high and inside for a ball. This one swung on and missed. It goes underneath the glove of Hidalgo Gato. And Khan hustles to first base.
And that's tough. He was able to block it, but then it kind of squirted away from him. Had a hard time finding it. Not able to get the ball to first base for the third out of the inning.
So it'll be recorded as a strikeout and a dropped third strike, but a pass ball, not a wild pitch, as this one will be in for a ball. This is George Hewitt at the plate. A single in his last plate appearance. So I'm grounded in between third and short for a base hit. Khan will stay put at second base. So another base hit for Hewitt. Now 2 for 4 on the day.
Having a nice day at the plate. Some athleticism running in that family. As we mentioned earlier, his big brother, a first-round draft pick by the Philadelphia Phillies.
Hidalgo Gatto going into talk to Barbarata, and if Hidalgo Gatto is a freshman, by the time he's a senior, I am going to estimate, what am I trying to say, predict that he's going to be fantastic.
I could absolutely see that because he just looks comfortable behind the plate. The results, he's had a couple tough plays today, but the results will get there with a little more time.
This one in low for a ball to Sam Brioso, the sophomore left fielder. It's 1 for 3 on the day with probably the best hit that we've seen today. He skied a double out to right center field. This one outside for a ball. Swung on and missed. A nice block by HG. Hidalgo Gatto. That's 5 syllables. That's an awful lot.
It's a lot of last names.
It's an awful lot. That was a beautiful block. And this one squirts away from him, able to pounce on it quickly. Count 3-1 to Brioso. Swung on and missed, and that'll be the 3rd strike. So Barbarata will retire Brioso with a strikeout, and Blair now comes to the plate in the bottom of the 6th inning, trailing by 8. New pitcher on the mound for Salisbury. Number 14, Wills Montgomery. He's a senior from Lakeville, Connecticut. I believe he's headed to the University of Connecticut to pitch next year. UConn, also the former home of George Springer, who had a game-winning hit, I believe, a couple of nights ago. The standout rookie for the Astros. There's also a first-round pick coming out of UConn. UConn, of course, the men's and women's national basketball champions. As this one is low for a ball to Sabino.
And he's going to come in throwing some heat. That ball gets to the plate quickly.
So 2-0 is the count. And that is an excellent spot. Is this one a strike at the knees? So Montgomery with some serious power coming from that right arm of his.
I would not want to get in there and face that.
Sabino fouls this one back as he seems to be right on it. So we've seen 4 straight fastballs from Montgomery. Montgomery with excellent presence out there on the mound. Changes this one up, and Sabino will foul this one off.
How about the play over by the base coach, Coach Jim Stone over there, all over it.
Coach Stone, former Gold Glover.
Current Gold Glover.
So the former quarterback at Taft, who plays Salisbury, as this one looks like a slider outside. Good block by Adams. Brings the count to 3-2. This is a big-time matchup here between Montgomery and Sabino. And the 3-2 is high, ball 4. They're going to check down at first. I don't think that was even close. So Sabino will work a walk here, as Blair will get a runner on first and brings up Chris Mezzanotte, who's 0 for 1 on the day. And there goes the canopy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Oh my.
It is head over heels. It took a sandbag with it.
Oh no. We're all right. No injuries.
We have no injuries, but God love him, Quashay Hendricks is on the job here. Never seen a day quite as windy as today. Count 1-0 to Mezzanotte. Montgomery deals this one high, count 2-0. So Montgomery, although he is throwing extremely hard, seems to have a little bit of trouble finding the glove.
Been working behind the first 2 batters he's faced here, down 2-0 on both of them.
Mezzanotte fouls this one back to the heads up.
Oh,
and
that was
it
close.
Almost hits Mr. Barbarata in the back of the head, but he is able to elude it with his cat-like quickness.
That was scary for a second there. I thought that was going to hit him.
And all 3 of the foul balls that have come close to injuring us have been off the bat of Mezzanotte, as the count now 2-1. And the changeup from Montgomery will retire Mezzanotte on strikes. Apologize for the mix-ups on the counts here, but we will assure you that most of them are wind-related.
That one was absolutely wind and canopy related.
A good pitch from Montgomery retires Mezzanotte, and that'll bring up Brett Lubreski. Lubreski is 1 for 2 on the day. Worked a beautiful count and then laced a single into right field. Montgomery takes a look at Sabino, and here comes another rocket right off of Montgomery. An excellent play by the pitcher will retire Lubreski, and they're going to come take a look at Montgomery, as I think he took this one perhaps off his rear end.
That'll hurt a little bit. Usually not a place where you're going to see an actual injury, but
yeah, we're going to take a second look at it. He seems to be okay, which is the most important thing. And it goes off the back of his left leg, lands right in front of him, and he makes the easy play over to first. So coaching staff being a little bit cautious, checking on Montgomery. But he seems to be okay, sends them away.
Yeah, he got moving on the ball pretty quickly. He didn't hop or anything away from the ball as if he was hurt by it. Tough kid out there on the mound. I would have been in a heap on the ground, screaming.
Up to bat, his first time at the plate today is Hidalgo Gatto. And this one is down low for a ball. What great experience for Hidalgo Gatto to get here against a team like Salisbury.
Even greater if he can get himself a hit here.
And the 1-0 is low for a ball, 2-0. He does shrink the strike zone a little bit. You know, some of the struggles that coaches have is figuring out where when you have a talent that's as good as Hidalgo Gatto, you don't, whether or not to keep them on varsity or JV, because at the same time when they're up on varsity, as this one grounded to short, Toffee up with it, and he will one-hop it to first, and Hidalgo Gato will get in safely as Hovey unable to pick it here. And the Blair coaching staff has to indicate to Hidalgo Gato that this was not a recorded out, so he'll stay on first, and he will do his own running as Christian Sook steps to the plate. Runners on first and third here, 2 outs in the inning, as Montgomery was able to get Mezzanotte on strikes and field a ground ball from Lubreski that hit him in the back of the leg, as this one is in for a strike. But Sean, as I was saying, you know, a difficult decision to make is whether to keep somebody like Hidalgo Gato on JV or on varsity, because in varsity games he's obviously not going to get a lot of time. He is going to get to practice with them, whereas, you know, you're not sure whether or not it's more beneficial for him to play on JV. But, you know, at the same time, he has the opportunity to experience games like this and see the big stage.
I mean, and I believe that varsity experience is just so valuable that if they can get him up here and they can just get him, you know, a couple of bats here and there, being able to practice with the team, being able to get, you know, coaching from the varsity coaching staff, that's just an experience that you can't get even if you're playing more innings at the JV level.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you, and that's not knocking any JV program, obviously.
Oh, not at all.
But just to be able to be up with the players on varsity is a pretty, as you said, valuable experience. This one in for a ball to Sook. And this one taken high. That'll be ball 3 on the first baseman here for Blair. Sabino takes a short lead off of third. Hidalgo Gato takes a lead off of first. Montgomery checks them both out and deals. And this one flown out to right field. Going back on it is January, and it's over his head. Sabino will score easily. Hidalgo Gato around third, and he will score. So a 2-run double from Christian Sook.
Nice piece of hitting there. It looked like it had a chance to get caught, but it ended up carrying over the head of the right fielder January.
We're going to take a nice look at the swing here, as Sook, just another beautiful piece of hitting, lets it travel, Sean. Another clinic to the opposite field here by Blair Academy. Wind might have taken it a little bit at the end.
I was going to say, thank the wind a little bit for that hit.
And this will bring up Jaksic, who grounds this one up the middle for a base hit. Sook around third, and they're going to hold him there because Coppin has an absolute cannon.
That he does. That would not have been a good decision. When you still need 6, there's no reason to test him to get 1.
All of this happening with 2 outs in the inning, Sean. The score 9-3 now in favor of Salisbury. And back up at the plate is Jordan Barbarata, who's done a decent job on the mound here for Blair. Barbarata, as we said earlier, with a key 2-run home run and a Maple League victory yesterday over at Hun, which apparently was just an absolute shot in a big, big spot. The 6th inning, I think it was.
That's a big spot in any game.
Jaksic leads off of first, and Montgomery fires this one in for a strike. Barbarata 1 for 2 on the day. His last at bat hit a scorching line drive to Toffee that Toffee had to leap for. This one will bounce off the chest protector of Adams, but Jaksic will stay put. Blair showing a little bit of fight here.
Yeah, I'd like to see that.
They're starting to touch up Montgomery a little bit. Perhaps just seeing a righty gave them some of the confidence they needed. As this one, what a play by Will Toffee. You've got to be kidding me. I was just about to say this one is going to drop in for a base hit, and out of nowhere, Toffee dives and makes the web gem. Real quick, we're going to take another look at it here as Barbarata, sort of a humpback line drive, didn't get all of it. And then here comes Toffee with an outstanding play. And we're going to send that to SportsCenter, perhaps. Probably not. But still a really nice play by Toffee. Ends the inning, and it sends Blair back out onto the field after scoring 2 and chipping away at the deficit a little bit, but the score remains 9-3 in favor of Salisbury. Dante Latessa steps to the plate here, second baseman for Salisbury. He's going to ground this one past Christian Sook into right field for a base hit. Dante Latessa reaching base once again here for Salisbury. As they will start off with a runner on first here to start the top of the 7th inning. I'll bring up Mason Coppins to the plate. Barbarata still on the mound for Blair. And the first pitch to Coppins is inside for a ball. A bunt attempt from Coppins. Hidalgo Gato dives for it, but can't come up with it. So Coppins will stay alive here. Mason Coppins been really impressed with his stick so far, 3 for 4 on the day, Sean, but I think the thing that sticks out the most,
his arm, man, wow,
is his arm, especially as this one is lined over the head of Mezzanotte. It was a 2-strike swing there from Coppins, gets his 4th hit of the day.
I mean, I guess a 4 for 5 day is pretty good compared to an arm as well.
I would say so, but I think what everybody was kind of marveling at was his throw from center field to third base on not even an attempted sacrifice fly, as the runner didn't even go, but Coppins, just in case, nice little just in case.
Yeah, it was a just in case, and it was hey, maybe you think about taking an extra base later in this one.
And you can see Coach Stone, as Christian Sook was rounding third base earlier in the bottom of the 6th, stopped him abruptly at third as Coppins came up with it. Also, he does a great job of coming up to the ball no matter where he's playing. When he fields it, it almost looks like he's in shallow center field as he just gets to the ball so quickly. I'll bring up Ryan January as he'll take a ball high. We have Latessa on second, Coppins on first. Nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Swing and a foul ball here from January. January got to experience this win firsthand, Sean, in in the last inning off the double from Christian Sook that just kept on going and going and going, and eventually landed over his head.
That was it was a hard hit ball, but the wind probably took it an extra 20 feet.
So it swung on and missed by January. Good pitch from Barbarata. Brings the count to 1-2. This one up high for a ball. And this one grounded foul down the first baseline. So good job of battling here by January. Jacob Lamb, the starting pitcher for Salisbury, I wanted to give you his line. Went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits, only 1 earned run and 6 strikeouts. So a great job by the senior lefty, who was relieved by Wills Montgomery there in the 6th. January with a nice 6-pitch at bat here. Barbarata looks at Latessa and fires home. This one outside for a ball. So January will work the count to 3-2. And the 3-2 was fouled down the right field line.
Working a lot of pitches here. Although Barbarata is certainly the kind of pitcher that can throw more than, he's not the kind of reliever that you bring in for 15 pitches. You can bring him in, and if he throws 35, 40 pitches, that's just fine.
It's actually at about 51 right now. But
throws 55, 60 pitches. That's just fine.
And this one is high for a ball, so January works a walk, and that'll bring up Will Toffee with the bases loaded, which is never really a good sign. But Barbarata, this is a good opportunity for Coach Stone to get him some work, as he's still feeling his way back from that knee surgery that he had earlier in the year. So this is some great work that he can get almost in long relief, if you will. And he's going to get him ready for that tournament run at the end of the year. This one is low for a ball. Blair does not participate in any county tournaments. But the state tournament, even though it's a 4-team tournament, still as difficult as any tournament to win. This one in for a strike on the outside corner. Count goes to 1-1.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how many teams there are. When the competition is at the level as it is in that tournament, it's a hard tournament to win.
And this one grounded through the hole. That will plate Latessa, and it will get past Holiday. So Coppins will score. January will drop anchor at third base. And an RBI single from Will Toffee puts Salsbury ahead by a score of 11-3.
That's a tough play for Holiday out there. Usually he's able to make that, but again, the way the weather is today, it's just tougher for everybody to do everything.
Yeah, so just difficult elements to play through here. As Kyle Adams steps to the plate, he's 2 for 4 on the day. Runners on second and third. We have nobody out still here in the 7th inning. This one low for a ball. January takes a couple-foot lead off of third. Toffee leads off of second, and this one grounded just past Sabino into center field for a base hit. Toffee will hold up at third as January scores, so an RBI single from Kyle Adams once again to the left side.
That was a great effort by Sabino. He almost got his glove on it, diving for that ball. So you have to give him credit for the effort. Just nice hit right up the middle of the field.
And Coach Stone will make another pitching change here as Kyle Jaksic will enter the game, and that will force Kevin Holliday, whom he's DHing for, to come in. And it looks like Barbarata might step right back out into right field.
It appears as though that will be the case. Barbarata trots his way out to right.
So Barbarata's line, 1 2/3, 6 hits given up, 3 runs, 3 strikeouts as well. As we said, still working back from that injury. Jaksic has had 2 appearances on the mound. He's had 3 innings of work, only given up 2 hits, 1 run. He has 3 strikeouts as well. Jaksic, the everyday, or the normal everyday catcher for this Blair Academy team, DH today. Had a base hit in the 6th, and now is looking to keep the score at 12-3 if he can. The 10-run rule is nullified because we are in the top of the 7th inning, Sean.
Yes, we are. So, if this had happened in the 6th, there would be a possibility for an early end to the game. That won't be the case, however, as Blair will get their opportunity in the bottom half of the inning.
And Blair only down 9, should be noted.
Anybody who's watched baseball for any period of time in their lives has seen a 9-run inning. It happens.
Sometimes it happens in the 1st inning. Sometimes it happens in extra innings. You never know.
Perhaps today it'll happen in the last inning.
The first pitch from Jaksic to Hovey is low for a ball. I want to thank Salsbury for having such easy-to-pronounce last names.
That is always nice when that happens.
It really is a treat. And these are going to be names that we will remember and that we will follow as they continue their careers at the next level and possibly even beyond that, talking about college, as this one squirts past Hidalgo Gato, and Adams will head to 2nd, but Toffee will remain at 3rd. Now 2-0 is the count here. And this is foul down the 3rd baseline. Count will go to 2-1. It's a Salisbury team, Sean, that only lost 3 games last year. They won their league championship game by a score of 15-0. That's how they ended their season.
That's a nice game. I'd say that's a solid win.
Yeah, we didn't mention today they also have 2 pitchers that are headed to Clemson University to play next year. Obviously, Toffee headed to Vanderbilt.
Clemson, one of the top baseball colleges in the country every year.
Adams headed to the University of Richmond, and Hovey headed to UMass. Mason Coppins to Northeastern. And as we said earlier, Montgomery headed to UConn. So a pretty boastful lineup there. As this one grounded to 2nd, Mezzanotte up with it and over to 1st as Toffee will score to make the score 13-3. But Jaksic able to get the first out of the inning. That'll bring up a pinch hitter here. So batting for Dave Kahn is number 5, Curdy. So Nick Curdy, the senior from Belcherstown, Massachusetts, will take a ball low. And this one fouled off. Count 1-1 here in the top of the 7th. breaking ball will be outside. Count goes to 2-1. So Blair, after a lengthy winning streak, comes back home as this one grounded to first off the glove of Sook. A run will score. So Curdy gets the ball in play and plates a run.
That gives Salisbury an 11-run lead now.
Blair on a string of really good games. They played Friday. They played yesterday. Two Maple games. Yesterday, an emotional. I don't know if it was emotional, but it was a tough game against the Hunt School, as they always have really good games against them. So not making excuses, but a pretty long run here that they've had, and I think it's okay to take a step back.
That's against this team.
Yeah, maybe. And be humbled a little bit as they finish the season off and head into the Prep A tournament. We have another pinch hitter here for George Hewitt. We have number 22 Roth at the plate. Mike Roth is a sophomore from Chicopee, Massachusetts,
where it is much less windier than it is here right now.
And this one low for a ball.
And I can say that with confidence without actually knowing the wind there, because nowhere is windier than here right now.
This one swung on and missed. Good pitch there by Jaksic. So we have one out here in the top of the 7th. Jaksic battling on the mound for this Buccaneer team. This one called a strike at the knees.
It was a generous call. Looked a little low to me. But I'm sure Jaksic will take it.
And this one swung on and missed. Another excellent pitch from Kyle Jaksic, and he will record the second out of the inning. Have another pinch hitter at the plate. We get a chance to look at his number. We will identify that player. And this is high for a ball. So hitting for Brioso is number 13 Goggins, sophomore left-handed hitter. Takes this one for a strike. Cody Goggins from Appleton, Wisconsin. Appleton, the home of the Division III World Series, Sean. I don't know if you knew that.
I most certainly did not.
Okay, well now you do. This one high for a ball. Wisconsin, really a hotbed for, I'm being dead serious here. Wisconsin has probably the best Division III sports out of any state in the country, as Sabino will take this one and step on second base for the third out of the inning. A lot of the reason why, because they really only have, they don't have many Division I schools. They really don't have many big universities in Wisconsin that have Division I sports. So that's why you have teams like Wisconsin Stevens Point, Wisconsin St. Thomas, some other ones that I'm missing out.
Your knowledge of Wisconsin Division III athletics.
If you look at the championships
unreal.
And the playoffs, you'll see a bunch of teams from Wisconsin. So,
do you look at that a lot?
I do. Oh, Wisconsin Whitewater is the team I was looking for. Who won
How can you forget Wisconsin Whitewater?
Well, they won the Division III National Football Championship this year, Sean. If you stop being so rude. So Appleton, the home of the Division III College World Series, so that's why you would think, oh, Wisconsin, that's not really a baseball town, but it is when you get there. Also, the Backwoods, I believe it's called the Backwoods Summer League. It's also an excellent collegiate league. We have a couple of those near us. The Harry Startzel League in Pennsylvania.
Okay. Don't take that as me hating on Division III college sports. I was a Division III athlete.
I understand. I'm just giving you some grief here.
I can feel the grief.
So Montgomery still on the mound for Salisbury. And we will have a pinch hitter. This is our boy J.V. Lewis, I believe, number 16. Played safety for the football team, a huge reason why the football team took home a Maple championship this year. We saw him as a courtesy runner earlier in the game. Lewis from St. Michael's, Maryland. Also did a fantastic job on the swim team this year. This was his first time on a competing at the high school level in the pool. This one taken low for a ball.
We were fortunate enough to be able to see a Blair swim meet earlier this season. It was a lot of fun.
Sure were. They took down High Point, I believe.
That is correct.
And this one low for a ball, so Lewis getting himself a favorable count here, 3-1. And he will swing through this one, so the count will go full now. Count 3-2 to Lewis. Lewis didn't play baseball last year, but decided to this year, as he will work a walk. One of the absolute most genuine, nicest kids you will ever meet, I promise you, on the face of the earth.
That's always nice to hear.
And it is 100% real. He is the last person to leave. He walked off the field on Friday, and he had 10 bags that he was carrying, and none of them were his. That's just the kind of kid that he is. It's been an absolute pleasure to know him, to meet him, wish him the best as he goes on. I believe he's trying to play football in college. I think he will, as this one comes in high for a ball to Eddie Lair.
You could say that about a lot of kids on this Blair team. Just good kids, good group of guys.
A lot of the reason for their success, I would say, is this one up high for a ball as well. Blair takes a massive cut at this one and fouls it back.
It's a healthy swing. Very healthy.
Score 14-3 now, bottom of the 7th. Salisbury leads Blair. The Salisbury team, I have to say, one of the better ones that I've probably seen at this level. As this one grounded to Latessa at second, over to Toffee at short, and over to Hovey for the 4-6-3 double play.
Nice turn. Toffee had a hard time earlier in this game turning a double play as he bounced the ball over at first on that opportunity that he had a few innings ago, but was able to correct whatever mistake he may have made that first time around and turn that one very well.
Yeah, that was a picture-perfect double play there as Liam Sabino steps to the plate. Sabino 0 for 1 with a pair of walks. He takes ball 1 low here. And this one low for a ball once again. So count 2-0 to Sabino. Now, as windy as it can be, there is nothing quite like a baseball game here at this field.
Oh, it's a beautiful place to watch a game for the fans. Ton of room to sit on the sidelines here, and you're very close to the action as there's not a ton of foul territory, so it allows you to get close to what's going on, which is great for the fan experience.
And the dugouts are relatively new, Sean. I want to say they're about 5-6 years old with the Don Zimmer fence, as this one laced into right field, but it will be to the right of the foul line here. A good piece of hitting by Sabino, but unable to keep it fair as the count goes to 2-2.
Yeah, and there may have been some miscommunication between the umpires there. It looked like the field ump had his hand pointing that it was in fair territory, but it was called foul by the home plate umpire.
It definitely was slicing. Sabino definitely got a good piece of it. we have 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th. Sabino looking to get something going here for the Buccaneers. And this changeup is taken low for a ball, so it goes to 3-2. And the one thing I will say about these Blair hitters, Sean, is that none of them ever look fooled. Saw Mezzanotte, who was a little bit out in front of a changeup from Montgomery, but other than that, I really haven't seen anybody that just looks either fooled by a pitch. You don't see any knees buckling. You don't see pitchers blowing the ball by them. So a very disciplined group here.
Also not fooled, Coach Jim Stone making another stellar play in the field.
So the 3-2 from Montgomery to Sabino. Swung on and drilled to left field, and Brioso will make the catch as this was hit right at him, but an excellent swing from Sabino. And that'll do it here from Wakefield Diamond. For everybody at Blair Academy, thank you for everybody's help, including James Atkins and Quashay Hendricks, Coach Stone, obviously, Laura Curtis, Tammy Finley. I want to thank everybody here. We apologize for the mistakes on the counts throughout the day. We were trying to brave the elements here. We want to thank everybody. We'll be back on Wednesday, I believe, for a softball game down the hill, and we'll be back Friday for another softball game. So stay tuned to the Strive Network. For Sean Lerman, I'm Tom Monfiletto. Thank you, and have a great day, everyone.